You open your teenager's bedroom door and immediately regret it. Clothes in geological layers on the floor. A plate under the bed growing something that should probably be studied by science. Homework buried somewhere in the chaos. And you think this mess is their future. They'll be a disorganized adult who can't function. I failed as a parent. But what if I told you that science says you're completely wrong? What if that messy room might actually be a sign of creativity, developing independence, and a healthy teenage brain? Let me show you what the research really says. Hi, I'm Jessica from Jessica's Parenting Journal. I'm a mom of 2 teenagers, and yes, I've stood in that doorway staring at the mess in complete disbelief. I've also spent years researching teenage development and parent-teen relationships. What I learned completely changed how I approach my teenagers' messy rooms. And I wrote 7 effective steps to transform a messy teenager, to share what actually works. Today I'm going to show you what science really says about messy teenagers, when you should worry, and what actually works to handle it without destroying your relationship. Before we dive in, a quick note. This advice is based on research about typical teenage behavior. If you're seeing extreme changes or signs of mental health concerns, please reach out to a professional. This video is about normal teenage messiness, not clinical issues. Here's the mind-blowing truth that most parents don't know. There's virtually no scientific evidence linking messy teenage bedrooms to disastrous adult futures. In fact, research suggests the opposite might be true. A University of Minnesota study found that people in messy spaces were significantly more creative and willing to try new things than those in tidy spaces. When researchers asked participants to generate creative uses for ping pong balls, the messy room group produced far more innovative ideas. Dr. Kathleen Vose, who led the study, explains, disorderly environments seem to inspire breaking free of tradition, which can produce fresh insights. And she's not just theorizing. Albert Einstein worked at a notoriously messy desk. When someone criticized him for it, he replied, "If a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what, then, is an empty desk a sign?" Now let's talk about the teenage brain, because this is crucial to understanding why your teenager's room looks like a disaster zone. The teenage brain is under massive reconstruction. The prefrontal cortex, that's the part responsible for organization, planning, and executive function, isn't fully developed until the mid-20s. Dr. Frances Jensen, a neuroscientist and author of The Teenage Brain, explains that teenagers genuinely don't perceive mess the same way adults do. What looks like chaos to you might literally not register as a problem to them. Their brain isn't wired to prioritize organization yet. Think about it this way. Your teenager's brain is like a house under renovation. The foundation is there, the walls are up, but the organizational systems, the closets, the filing cabinets, the label makers, those aren't installed yet. They're coming. They will get there. But right now, their brain is focused on other development. Identity formation, social connection, and abstract thinking. Room organization? That's way down on the priority list, neurologically speaking. So when you look at that messy room, you're not seeing laziness or disrespect. You're seeing a developing brain that literally processes spatial organization differently than yours does. Before you use this as permission for permanent squalor, let's be clear. There are times when mess signals a real problem. Here are the red flags that warrant attention. First, a sudden change from neat to chaotic. If your previously organized teen suddenly can't maintain any order, that may signal depression, anxiety, or another mental health concern. Second, hoarding behaviors. This isn't just messiness. It's an inability to discard items, distress when you try to remove things, and accumulation beyond normal teenage clutter. Third, actual health hazards. We're talking rotting food, mold growing, situations that could attract pests. This goes beyond mess into genuine health risks. Fourth, safety issues. Blocked exits, fire hazards, things that create actual danger. And fifth, significant impact on functioning. If they consistently can't find homework, can't locate clean clothes, can't function because of the mess, that's a problem that needs addressing. Here's what most parents don't realize. The messy room is almost never actually about the mess. It's about control. Think about your teenager's life. They can't control dinner time. They can't control school schedules. They can't control curfews, homework assignments, or family rules. But their bedroom? That's theirs. That's the one space where they make the rules. When you enforce cleanliness in their room, you're invading the one territory they control. Every sock on the floor becomes a small rebellion. Every nag about cleaning up reinforces their need to assert independence through defiance. Dr. Laura Markham, a clinical psychologist, puts it plainly. When we micromanage teenagers' rooms, we communicate that we don't trust them. That erodes the relationship and doesn't teach them anything about cleanliness. Let me repeat that. Micromanaging their room erodes your relationship and doesn't teach them to be clean. Because here's the truth. The mess needs to be their problem, not yours. When it's your problem, when you're the one nagging, threatening, punishing, they have zero motivation to change. You've taken ownership of the mess. But when the mess is their problem, when they can't find their favorite shirt because it's buried, when they lose points on homework they can't locate, when they have to face the consequences, that's when they start to care. The real issue isn't the mess. It's the relationship damage from constant battles over it. And I promise you, the relationship damage can last way longer than the messy phase. So what actually works? How do you handle the mess without damaging your relationship or enabling complete chaos? Strategy 1. Pick your battles. Ask yourself honestly, is the room creating actual health hazards, or is it just offending your aesthetic sensibilities? If it's the latter, close the door, literally. Their room, their rules. Save your energy for things that actually matter: grades, character, safety, how they treat people. The sock on the floor? Not worth the relationship cost. Strategy 2. Negotiate minimum standards. Sit down together, and I mean together, as equal partners, and agree on non-negotiables. What might those be? No rotting food. Laundry in the hamper on laundry day so it actually gets washed. Dirty dishes returned to the kitchen daily. A clear path to the door and window for safety. Everything else? Let them figure it out. Let them live with the consequences of their organizational choices. Strategy 3. Natural consequences. This is the hardest one for parents, but it's the most effective. Stop rescuing them. Can't find clean clothes? They wear dirty ones or do their own laundry. Lost their homework? They face the grade. Can't find their favorite hoodie? They deal with the disappointment. The mess needs to be their problem, not yours. As long as you're the one suffering from their mess, they have zero motivation to change. Strategy 4. Focus on shared spaces. Put your energy into maintaining the kitchen, living room, bathrooms, spaces where your standards legitimately apply because everyone uses them. Their bedroom? That's their territory. Unless it's creating the red flags we talked about earlier, let it go. These 4 strategies work because they respect your teenager's autonomy while maintaining reasonable boundaries. They preserve your relationship while allowing them to learn from consequences. Let's talk about how to actually implement these strategies, because knowing what to do and doing it are 2 different things. When you sit down to negotiate minimum standards, make it a genuine negotiation. Ask your teen, what do you think is reasonable? What can you commit to? Listen to their input. They're more likely to follow rules they helped create. Write it down together. Put it somewhere visible. This isn't you imposing rules. It's you both agreeing on boundaries. Now here's the hard part. Resist the rescue urge. When they can't find their homework because it's buried, every fiber of your being will want to help them search, remind them to organize, or call the teacher to explain. Don't, and trust the process. Most messy teenagers don't stay messy forever. Once they're living independently and the mess is fully their problem, when they're missing work because they can't find their keys, or going on dates in wrinkled clothes, they start caring. The organizational skills develop when they have genuine motivation. Your nagging was never going to create that motivation. Their own consequences will. Give them time and space to figure it out. The mess is temporary. Their independence skills are forever. Here's what I want you to remember. That messy room isn't a preview of their future. Most messy teenagers become reasonably tidy adults once they're independent, and the mess is fully their problem. But you know what can last forever? The relationship damage from years of daily battles over socks on the floor. Every time I see a teenager's messy room, I'm reminded that parenting isn't about control. It's about preparing them for independence. And sometimes the most important parenting move is knowing when to step back and let them figure it out. Close the door. Trust the process. Focus on the relationship, not the socks on the floor. Now, if you want the complete system for transforming your relationship with your messy teenager, not just their room, but the whole dynamic, check out my book, 7 Effective Steps to Transform a Messy Teenager. This book addresses what we've talked about today. The messy room is one symptom of a larger relationship dynamic. When you transform how you relate to your teenager, moving from controller to guide, the surface behaviors often resolve themselves. The book includes specific communication strategies, conflict resolution techniques, and a framework for natural consequences that actually work. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. If this video helped shift your perspective on your teenager's messy room, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more teen parenting tips. And drop a comment. What's the messiest thing in your teenager's room right now? I want to hear the horror stories. Remember, the mess is temporary. The relationship is forever. Choose wisely.